What up, what up, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we're back for another one. Alright, y'all, so let's get right into it, man. So, JIMUEL Pacquiao is in training and is looking very, very good. This kid could very well be the next guy. You know, I was checking out some of his footage. I'll throw some of it up here somewhere.
Laban niya, ilang beses pang naka-street si JIMUEL. Sa second round, kaliwa naman ang ipinatikim ni JIMUEL nang makatsyempo ng kombinasyon na knock-out ni JIMUEL.
But he looks really spectacular, man. And I think if he pursues the sport of boxing, just half of what his father did, you can see something really, really special here. And there's a fellow YouTuber out there named BOY TAPANG.
Yo, what's up mga katapang? Magsisimula na kami.
Another Filipino boxer who has his own YouTube channel, very big YouTube channel, which I didn't know. You know, being a Pacquiao fan, I thought I would have known about all this stuff, but I didn't know. You know, you have to do your research. So, BOY TAPANG is challenging JIMUEL Pacquiao to a fight, and Pacquiao had this to say.
MG invited you to fight at Battle of YouTubers. Why not? Why not? So, BOY TAPANG, good luck sa'yo.
Now, he said he would fight BOY TAPANG. Now, is this fight actually going to happen? I'm not sure. How would this fight play out? You know, I haven't saw a lot of footage from BOY TAPANG, but I did find some footage on him, and I'll throw it up there as well. But he looks... Listen, these are two totally different types of fighter here. JIMUEL Pacquiao comes from, how can I say this? A privileged background. You know, Manny Pacquiao is a global superstar. He's very rich, even in the Philippines. So JIMUEL Pacquiao comes from a good home. He worries about nothing when it comes to finances. And BOY TAPANG seems more like he's from the villages of the Philippines, which means he's a tough guy. You know, he knows how to fight and survive. So, to me, I think this would be a fight of ring IQ and ring knowledge versus a survival fighter or a street fighter. And I think I say that about JIMUEL Pacquiao because he has access to Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest fighters in history. He has access to Boy Fernandez. He has access to Freddie Roach. He has access to strength and conditioning coaches like Justin Fortune and Alex Ariza. So, you know, he has the advantage when it comes to ring knowledge, when it comes to experience, and when it comes to the inside of boxing. Whereas BOY TAPANG is a guy who I think probably grew up street fight. I don't know, but it seems like it's a guy who grew up street fighting in the Philippines, who went through hard times in the villages, and who just happened to become a superstar on Filipino YouTube, which is he's really big on Filipino YouTube. Now, I might be wrong about that, but that's the way when I initially looked at it, that how I saw it. So I think if they actually did fight, and I don't know about BOY TAPANG, but I do know that JIMUEL Pacquiao is trying to pursue a professional fighting career. He's had a couple of fights, which I will show you up here as well. One of them, he scored a knockdown, and a big knockdown. And like I said, he looks good. So how would this fight play out? I think it would be actually a pretty brutal fight because you got a street fighter versus a guy with a lot of experience in with the boxing world in JIMUEL Pacquiao. And I think that it would be brutal for the first few rounds. You know, the guys would go to war. But I think in the end, ultimately, JIMUEL Pacquiao's experience would be able to edge out BOY TAPANG, because they're going to be things that I'm pretty sure, you know, and it would be smart on Manny Pacquiao's account if he he uses this as some type of promotion for his presidential run by promoting this fight if it actually happens, because it would be huge for the Philippines. I think that JIMUEL Pacquiao having BOY as his coach, which I'm sure he would be his coach, I would hope he would be his coach, having Pacquiao back him, and then probably getting free advice from Freddie Roach on how to win the fight, perhaps even having a strength and conditioning coach in Justin Fortune. I think his experience and the fact that he's so close to the sport of boxing, I think his ring IQ, him being around boxing for so long, would actually edge out the heart and the fighter spirit that's in Boy Tapang. I could be wrong, but hey, this is a battle of the YouTubers and potentially the future of the sport of boxing. So it's how I see it. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. Now let's move on to Terence Bud Crawford. Alright, I put up a poll on my community section. Y'all go check out the community section because I'm about to get it cracking. I put up a poll and I said, who's the pound for pound king of the welterweight division in the sport of boxing? And after I think it's been 4 or 5 days, the community, the Aliland Boxing Talk Red Room Sports, Cardinal Red Sports community has spoken, and Terence Bud Crawford is now the king of the welterweight division. Now here's the thing, I do believe there are fighters who can beat Terence Crawford. But I'm not going to go against the community and not crown him the king. He's a champion. I can't disrespect him as a champion. I have to acknowledge him as a champion. He's not the unified champion. Earl Spence is the unified champion. But when it comes to his next fight, Shawn Porter, I think Terence Crawford does possess the skill sets to beat Shawn Porter. And not only beat Shawn Porter, but he might knock Shawn Porter if you ask me. I think the fight plays out like this. Listen, Terence Crawford has a lot more skill set than Shawn Porter has, if you ask me. His speed is better, his technique is better, his ring IQ is better. I think Shawn Porter is a brawler, he's a come-forward fighter, has a lot of heart, but doesn't possess the skill sets that Terence Crawford possesses. And I think Terence Crawford just wants it a little bit more. And I think his promotion wants it a little bit more. So he's going to be a lot more prepared to win this fight than Shawn Porter is, in my personal opinion. Could Shawn Porter score something big? He definitely can. I'm not doubting him. But I just feel like Terence Crawford is that man. And if Pacquiao's out of the way, there's no more threats to Spence and Crawford. I think in the welterweight division. I don't see anybody else seriously challenging them outside of maybe Josh Taylor coming up in weight and challenging one of those guys. Now, Captain Full G thinks that what's his name? I can't think of his name. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. What is his name? I got his picture in my head. But Captain Full G, he really feels like that guy can come up and make some noise at 147. But I can't think of his name right now. But as far as Terence Crawford, how does Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter play out? I think the first 6 rounds, you're going to see Shawn Porter come out like a whirlwind and try to slow Terence Crawford down. But I think what you're going to see is Terence Crawford use his jab and use the ring and movement to slow Shawn Porter down. And by the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round, you're going to see a slower, less active version of Shawn Porter. I think by the 11th or 12th round, you might actually see Terence Crawford knock Shawn Porter the F out. My opinion. I don't want to ramble on for too much longer. Hit that like button for me. Please subscribe. This is Cardinal Red for Cardinal Red Sports, Red Room Sports, Aliland Boxing Talk, making big moves, trying new things, trying to get the channel popping for y'all. And we are out of here.